Award of the evening for extraordinary commitment to public service will be presented tonight by Ms. Catherine Marshall, Senior Fellow at the Berkeley Center for Religion, Peace, and World Affairs, and Executive Director of the World Faiths Development Dialogue. Ms. Marshall is a member of the Rumi Forum's Advisory Board. Please welcome Ms. Marshall to the stage to present this award.
Good evening. Receiving the joint award for extraordinary commitment to public service this evening are U.S. Special Envoy Hannah Rosenthal and U.S. Special Representative Farah Pandith. Hannah Rosenthal was sworn in as Special Envoy to monitor and combat anti-Semitism on November 23, 2009, sparked by the work and experience of her father, a rabbi and Holocaust survivor, and her experience studying to become a rabbi. Hannah Rosenthal has led a life marked by activism and a passion for social justice. Before joining the State Department, Ms. Rosenthal was executive director of the Chicago Foundation for Women, where she led one of the largest women's funds in the world. Prior to that, she was executive director of the Jewish Council for Public Affairs for 5 years, where she worked on domestic and international policy for the organized Jewish community in North America. Ms. Rosenthal served as Midwest Regional Director of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services during the Clinton administration. She was involved in community organizing and the anti-war and civil rights movements in the 1960s. Ms. Rosenthal attended graduate school for rabbinical studies at Hebrew Union College in Jerusalem and Los Angeles, and holds a bachelor's degree in religion from the University of Wisconsin. Ms. Rosenthal has 2 grown daughters who are busy mending the world with their mother. And Farah Pandith was appointed Special Representative to Muslim communities in June 2009. Her office is responsible for executing Secretary Clinton's vision for engagement with Muslims around the world on a people-to-people and organizational level. She reports directly to the Secretary of State. Prior to this appointment, she was senior advisor to the Assistant Secretary of State for European and Eurasian Affairs. In this role, she focused on Muslim communities in Europe, where she was responsible for policy oversight for integration, democracy, and Islam in the Bureau of European and Eurasian Affairs. She also worked on issues relating to countering violent Islamic extremism. Before joining the Department of State, she served as the Director for Middle East Regional Initiatives for the National Security Council. She was responsible for coordinating U.S. policy on Muslim world outreach and broader Middle East North Africa initiatives. She reported directly to the Deputy Assistant to the President and Deputy National Security Advisor for Global Democracy Strategy. Special Representative Pandith served on the staff of the National Security Council from December 2004 to February 2007. Prior to joining the National Security Council, Special Representative Pandith was Chief of Staff for the Bureau of Asia, Near East, for the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID. She worked directly for the Assistant Administrator for the Bureau, responsible for more than $4 billion in programs throughout the Middle East, South Asia, and Asia, including Iraq, Afghanistan, and Gaza West Bank. In 2004, she spent 2 months in Kabul Afghanistan. From 1997 to 2003, Special Representative Pandith was Vice President of International Business for ML Strategies in Boston, Massachusetts. She received a master's degree from the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy at Tufts University, where she specialized in international security studies, Islamic civilizations, and Southwest Asia, and international negotiation and conflict resolution. She concentrated on the insurgency in Kashmir and has spoken on the subject in international and domestic forums. Prior to graduate school, Special Representative Pandith worked at USAID as the Special Assistant to the Director of Policy. She's been a consultant in both the public and nonprofit sectors. Special Representative Pandith has served on several boards with a focus on international affairs, including the World Affairs Council of Boston, the Council of Emerging National Security Affairs, and the British American Project. She was a term member of the Council on Foreign Relations. And Special Representative Pandith received an AB in Government and Psychology from Smith College, where she was president of the student body. She served as a trustee of alma maters Smith College and Milton Academy, and she's currently a member of the Board of Overseers, the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy, and she was born in Srinagar, Kashmir, India. Whew. Now, please welcome to the stage Special Representative to Muslim Communities, Ms. Farah Pandith, and Ms. Stacey Bernard Davis, Senior Advisor to the Special Envoy to Monitor and Combat Anti-Semitism, to accept the award on behalf of Special Envoy Hannah Rosenthal, as she could not be with us this evening. So. So now we will first hear remarks from Special Representative Farah Pandith and Ms. Stacey Bernard Davis, and then we will ask you to look at the screen for a brief video acceptance speech from Special Envoy Hannah Rosenthal. Thank you.
Well, good evening, and thank you so very much. I think you heard my entire life story. I'd forgotten half of it. I apologize for that very long background. But what I want to say tonight is really from the heart. First of all, Emre, I really want to thank you so much. You can't imagine how much this means to me. Your partnership and your friendship over the course of my term as Special Representative has meant a lot. We were just talking about the fact that we first met in Kentucky, and we have actually met on various parts of the globe together as we've talked about the important work of building bridges and talking about mutual respect. This entire forum and the work that all of the people in past years have done represents something that President Obama talked about and still talks about very clearly, and something that we're all working toward, which is mutual respect. And whether we're talking about race, or we're talking about sexuality, or we're talking about gender, we're talking about values that are very much a part of the American experience. I think very much about the last couple of years with Hannah working on this campaign, Hours Against Hate, which has been one of the most incredible journeys I have ever had in my professional existence. You didn't get to hear about the campaign in the long build up to us getting up on the stage. But this campaign was birthed at a conference held in Kazakhstan by the OSCE, and they had asked us to come be part of the American delegation to speak on behalf of the US on a variety of topics. I was supposed to speak on Islamophobia. Hannah was supposed to speak on the issue of anti-Semitism. And what we did in June of 2010 was to do something quite unprecedented for a US government official. We switched speeches and didn't tell anybody. So when they called on the Americans to speak on behalf of anti-Semitism, I stood up. And when they asked the Americans to speak on behalf of Islamophobia, Hannah stood up. We gave our speeches, but we ended in with the same paragraph. Hate is hate, no matter who the victim is. That one moment changed the course of both of our professional lives from 2010 onward. So much so that we launched a campaign in 2011 because civil society asked us to do more than give a speech. They asked us to do something to help them move this idea of mutual respect forward. And in 2011, we started a campaign on Facebook for young people under the age of 30, because guess what? Most of the world is under the age of 30. And we wanted young people to volunteer 1 hour or more of their time for someone who didn't look like them, live like them, or pray like them. And we thought perhaps we would get a few thousand hours pledged worldwide. By the end of 2011, thousands upon thousands of hours had been pledged. And 7 NGOs from the UK came to us and said, we have been really inspired by this global campaign. Mayors in Azerbaijan, mayors in Spain, mayors in Turkey had taken this on. Youth groups, students, all kinds of organizations had asked people to pledge, and they were doing things all over the world. But these 7 NGOs said, we want to move this forward on an international stage, and would it be okay if we went to the London 2012 Olympics and asked them if we could become partners? We have been really privileged to be partners with the 2012 Olympic Games and the Paralympic Games. This campaign is not about me, it is not about Hannah, it is not about the US Department of State. This campaign is about the young men and women, girls and boys, all over this world who are working hard to create a world based on mutual respect. So on behalf of them, I thank you very much for this kind honor. And I miss my friend Hannah, who is not here with us tonight, but she has been a friend and a colleague in helping to think about how to do this big and to build coalitions. And I urge us all, in her spirit and the spirit of the young people I've heard around the world, to do more than we've ever done before, because hate is hate, no matter who the victim is. So thank you very much, Emre, and for the Rumi Forum. Thank you so much.
There's a short video with remarks from Hannah, but I will accept this on her behalf and say how sorry she is that she can't be here this evening, and to also say how much she's treasured her collaboration with Farah on 2011, 2012 Hours Against Hate and beyond. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry I couldn't be there with you today. My heart is, and my soul is, and my passion is. It's not every day that someone is as lucky as I am, that I get to have a job that matches what my passion is. And I've had that opportunity working as a special envoy to monitor and combat anti-Semitism, to fight the growth of hatred around the world. And now I've moved to go home, to be closer to my family, who understand me and my passion, and that my work won't stop. And I hope my partnership and shared goals with Rumi Forum will continue and will continue to grow. I think that the message of advancing mutual respect and fighting hatred could not come at a more important time. We are seeing intolerance, bigotry, ultranationalism happening around the world, and it should keep us up at night. And I know that you in Rumi Forum and we here at the State Department work hard to try and stem those bad trends from happening. So, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for this award, but more importantly, I want to thank you for the work you do. Because together, we're trying desperately to make a difference, to move the needle, to stop the hatred, to stop the bigotry, to advance mutual respect, acceptance, pluralism, and hopefully peace. Thanks for all you do, and thanks so much for this honor.